There it is. There's the music. Big story today, breaking news. I'm scared to talk about it. I'm actually scared. I have never been scared to talk about anything. I'm actually scared to talk about this. It hits so close to home. I asked some people if they want to talk about it, and they're like, oh, no, I don't know, man. Don't want to touch that. So we're hitting the hot button shit today. Make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe. You know, support this congregation. We're taking big risks, people. We're taking big risks here. But it must be done. We must call for peace. People are fighting. We must call for peace. We must say, please, community, please, people of the community, don't fight. We are here to love. We are not here to hate each other. And that is what we'll do. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Can y'all hear me? Let me know. Oh my God. We must call for peace. We must call for peace in the community. How can we allow this fighting to get so far? And I blame Trudeau, quite frankly. Sophia Gibson, is here in the congregation. I'm gonna ask, actually. Sound equals good, Rewind Cat says. Thank you, Rewind Cat. Thank you. No, this is a very personal issue to me. It's close to home. You know what? I should just play music during topics. And then it's almost like you follow the rhythm of the music where you're like, you know, it's very scary for me to talk about. But that is exactly why we must talk about it. And we will call for peace. And we will say, please, please, brothers, come together. We are not meant to fight. We are meant to love one another. We are all children of the Most High God. We are all just children, brothers and sisters, and the other genders too. It's not about that right now, okay? Not that I don't support the other genders. I support all genders, but let's focus on what's at hand. Am I right? Come on in, people. I already went on a weird tangent. What am I doing, guys? This is terrifying to talk about this. I asked one or two people, and they were like, I don't want to touch it. Don't want to touch it. But we're here, baby. Woo! Drip Podcast. Ripping and dipping on really the most important news of the day. This is the one story that keeps building, too. It hasn't slowed down at all. So let's just come on in here and just chill out for a second. I'm going to play this very chill song. This is Funky Ride. Can you guys hear the music okay, too? Funky Ride by Noir A. Blanc V from the YouTube Creator Library. And you're listening to the Drip, 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 Rip and Dip on YouTube. And today, yeah, it's weird that I'm not afraid to talk about Ukraine so much. By the way, the last guest we had, Vanded, shout out to Vanded for he went on such a tear, didn't he? Like, before we started the show, he told me that he doesn't want to say too much about Ukraine. He's like, I don't want to touch that. I don't know, whatever. The guy ripped. Like, every spot. He had every criticism got out. Applejack, did he miss anything? Like, I mean, the guy ripped, right? Applejack gave us like $20. That's how jacked up the guy was on his peace message regarding Ukraine and Russia. I call it a peace message. He was so riled up. He got the community so riled up that Applejack dropped $20, just being like, "Just preach it, brother, preach it. I gotta give another 10." It's like, dude, this guy went off on a tear, and that episode it's doing, you know, I mean, they're all doing fine, I guess, but that episode, oh my God, I didn't see it coming. I really thought he wanted to just be out of that and move into something else quick, and he just went off, and like, they're good rips, so I don't want to interrupt it. You know what I mean? Like, I guess, and that is like a podcast. It's like a little more free-flowing, you know, and this guy's got something in his heart that he wants to get off his chest, and he wants to say it. And I thought, and the thing is, there is the bias, because I do agree with it. And Applejack does too. Applejack59 says he was ripping it. Yeah, some people even put, like, this is the best guest you've had. Like, the guy is going on a tear. But I told you guys, he's like, He's six documentaries Van Dead. Whatever issue you just heard about, he's 6 documentaries in. Maybe a book too. I think he reads too. So, but he's always 6 documentaries in on whatever the issue. He's gone deep, and he'll tell you the next story. He'll tell you that your story was actually, some are saying it's a conspiracy. This is the actual story, but then these guys are saying it is a story. Like, he'll go 4 or 5 levels deep on that. So, thanks for coming, everyone. Appreciate you. And let's just chill out. You know, there's war. Apparently, we got war coming, people. We are in Kali Yuga. That's what the Hindus say. We are in Kali Yuga, and it is the time of highest suffering. And, you know, one of the things that the Buddha teaches about fighting, and this is why we want to have a very powerful, important message about not fighting and coming together as a community, especially in these times when there is calls for violence. We should be even more saying, like, we don't want fighting. We appreciate each other. We love each other. We don't want this. This is a small percentage of people. And even the Buddha says that fighting, you know, let's look at the scale of righteousness. I mean, and this goes for all fighting. If we look at the scale of righteousness, it's just, quite frankly, a low vibration. The Buddha actually says that anger, like, forget about fighting, precursor to fighting, anger. He says an angry person is like a out of control careening chariot, just jangling into the ditch. That is what anger does. You need it for seconds, split seconds, you need it. If you're getting attacked, you need the anger, attack back, finish it. And then a lot of animals you see after a fight, they do this because it is a low vibration, shake off the low vibration. And that's what they're doing. Their nervous system is just, that's good. You know, that's not, we're not going to install that trauma, and we're not going to make that a way of life. A fight happened, we're done with it. We're going to go back to being peaceful and loving. And but that's what the Buddha says. I mean, it is, it's all right there. You can see it on the righteousness scale. And right now, there's so many people fighting. That's the thing. I mean, Ukraine, Russia, I don't even think, there's just so much stuff about the Canadian thing going on right now. Like, and I'll just give you a quick setup, and then we'll watch a couple of Indian news setups, and then we'll watch Canadian news setups. And I'm looking for Punjabi news setups, but they're in Punjabi, so I don't know. Maybe we can find a subtitle one, but I'll give you a quick setup here on this. How do you do a quick setup on this? Basically, Justin Trudeau, has accused India of killing a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil. This is a big deal, people. This is a big insult. It is an attack. That's how India is taking it. So now India has responded. So India said this is foolish and a falsehood. The Canadians expelled a diplomat. The Indians, and they keep calling it a tit for tat, expelled a diplomat. This is downward circling trauma in action. Downward circling trauma, yes. That's what's going on here. Traumas are being laid on each other. De-escalating or escalating, you could say, downward into maybe a fight, maybe, worse relations, more tension, more anger towards each other. So now what makes it complicated, though, is that the person that the guy that Trudeau is saying that India killed on Canadian soil, he is a Khalistan separatist. So he believes that Khalistan should be a separate country. And Khalistan, if you don't know, is a state in Punjab. It goes deep, okay? So the state in Punjab, this man was a separatist. He was gunned down in June. Canada has now said it was India. And what he said was, listen, there's two types of people when I talk to people about it, there's two ways of thinking about this. What Trudeau said in Parliament is he said, let's play the goddamn clip, shall we? Let's play it. So many clips. India's going crazy right now. It's blowing up. But he said something very India. Let's go here. This is what we want. Let's go to, here we go. There he is.
Mr. Speaker, today I'm rising to inform the House of an extremely serious matter. I just informed the leaders of the opposition directly. I want now to speak with all Canadians. Over the past number of weeks, Canadian security agencies have been actively pursuing credible allegations of a potential link between agents of the government.
It's too vague. Sorry, I'll let it play, but like, how vague? He used credible, allegation, and potential. This is how politicians talk when they want to say something, but they don't want to say something. Everything is in this nonsense legal jargon. It's not just me saying it. Some of you are going to say, oh, I'm pulling for the Hindu. I just want the Hindu to rise. No, this is real criticism of the language that he's using. He is using language that's so vague, and it does make you think, like, if you had proof, say you have proof. And even the leader of the opposition, he just said that he showed it to the leader of the opposition. The leader of the opposition has said publicly that, like, okay, show me the proof. He hasn't shown me proof. That's what Pierre Poilievre has officially said, that Trudeau told me about it, but he didn't show me any proof. And it's like, and I'm in the government, I'm the leader of the opposition, I can look at that. It's like he can legally, and Trudeau's doing the same thing on the Chinese interference stuff. He's basically not letting anyone look at the documents. So listen. I know, and then you get a lot of people who are like, well, if Trudeau said it, it's got to be real. What did he say? Credible allegations of a potential. What?
Doing credible allegations of a potential link between agents of the government of India and the killing of a Canadian citizen, Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
He always talks like he's a kindergarten teacher and he's talking to you like a dumb child. And why does he talk like this?
Canada is a rule of law country. The protection of our citizens and defense of our sovereignty are fundamental. Our top priorities have therefore been, one, that our law enforcement and security agencies ensure the continued safety of all Canadians, and two, that all steps be taken to hold perpetrators of this murder to account. Canada has declared its deep concerns to the top intelligence.
That's the issue anyway. So that's number one. That's it. It's like when you watch House of Cards. I don't know if you guys ever watch House of Cards, but House of Cards is a political drama, and it's basically just like Game of Thrones. Only in Game of Thrones, like when someone's taken out, their head gets chopped off. In House of Cards, because it's political based, it's politics, they don't cut someone's head off. The person has to go up on big guy makes an announcement like this. In House of Cards, this happens all the time. A politician makes an announcement, and then 2 or 3 other people are like, oh no, we're screwed now. We got to run away. We got to do something. We're going to lose all our money. Whatever it is. This is an attack. And yeah, if you don't, I just don't see where the evidence is. And I think it's going to divide the country. And now, let's see the latest escalation of it. Let's take a look at some of the...
Really spoiling the relationship between two countries. And
This is India's response.
Insider explains that Trudeau, that propaganda and that entire propaganda that has been put out by Canada is likely to backfire. Canadian intelligence agencies are feeding him all the wrong information because they have hired radical agents on the ground. These agents hired by, by
this
the
music, it feels like you're watching 24. Didn't, 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 didn't. You guys can hear the videos, obviously, right? Expelling a diplomat is the worst thing to do in this situation. If anything, they should double the diplomacy. Rewind cat! Very righteous. We're going to get to comments in a sec. Some of these comments are so righteous. We're going to get to these comments. Very good. Very good comment, Rewind cat.
Intelligence agencies are feeding certain information.
Here's the thing. Here's the problem with being in Kali Yuga. Because we are in Kali Yuga and we're the time of highest suffering, one of the things that you got to understand right now is that you're not going to get a clear winner and loser in this. And I got to show you this clip, actually, because what's happening right now is that you basically have extreme... Okay, the people who want Khalistan, it is like they are, I guess, extremist movements. And I'll show you some clips in a second. I mean, they are extremist movements. They do some violence. stuff like that happens, right? But at the same time, I agree with their right to want to have a separate country. If they want a separate country, they have the right to do that. If they got the votes, let them do a vote. If they win, they win. It's a free country. You can protest for it as long as it's peaceful. You can fight for it. You can, I support all of that, right? So I do want to say that. And then on the other side, India is technically Hindu nationalist, which is something that, it's like the Hindus love it, but then the other people have been saying that they're being oppressed in some ways. And we don't want to see it because we want to say we love Modi so much, because one of our guys won. It's just like black people with Obama. What's the difference? Black people with Obama did the same thing. He murdered half of Syria, Obama. He's like a war criminal. People are saying that Obama is a war criminal. Like, he destroyed countries. And we have this favorable view of him because the first black president, so we don't want to be disrespectful. We want to be nice. But he's basically just another George W. Bush. He's no different in the end. And the books are out about it, and the facts are out about it. And we all and a lot of people are saying that he's just a nice guy that makes you turn a blind eye so that the government can do even more nefarious stuff. And even for him to get in like that, it's like he had to do that. So India with Modi, it's a similar thing. Like, he's presenting us a sweet face. And the economy might be better, maybe. I think I've heard that the economy has actually gotten really good with him. Very organized, whatever. But that's what happens with the fascistics. Even in Germany, they're good at, when Hitler was rising, they were good at, they were efficient. They were efficient, and then they slowly started killing the outside groups. Similar, I'm not saying exactly the same. Obviously, there's shades. There's early stages. If you look at some of the guys that are in line after Modi, maybe they like Modi. I don't think could be a Hitler, but behind him in the party, there could be one in there. I'm just saying, right? I mean, they are slowly ramping that stuff up too. A lot of Muslims, a lot of Christians, and a lot of Sikhs have said that it is oppressive, that there is this thing from the government coming down on them. And then a lot of Hindus will tell you, like, no, Modi loves the Muslims. He made it okay for women to get divorced in like a second. Which, I mean, you're helping and you're hurting. You know what I mean? You're helping and you're hurting. I mean, I'm sure a lot of Muslim men were like, my wife just fucking left me because this guy cares about women's rights or whatever. So there is that. It's just complicated. It's complicated. But so that is the both sides of it. And it does remind me of, let me show you a movie. And this is very emblematic of Kali Yuga. Both sides, like, you almost can't take a side on it because both sides have their issues. Like, we should be on the side of peace, obviously. We should be on the side of, like, listen, I'll tell you exactly how to fix everything. I can tell you exactly how to fix it right now. If they want to do a vote, let them do a vote, help them with the vote, and then if the number comes back and they can separate, just keep the relation cool because geographically they can't move anyway, and they're there, and you have to keep working with them, and you're gonna have to just set up all these. It is annoying. I get it, but if you got the votes, you got the votes. It's democracy. You can't say you're a democracy and then block them from doing votes. And the Indian government doesn't do a lot of shady stuff like that. They'll go after people's Twitter accounts. They'll black out the internet. What one guy was saying, someone was telling me that when they were in school, they were in high school in Punjab, and if any kind of violence happened, any kind of like fight broke out, or like any kind of sectarian violence, or any kind of like, if it looked like something was going to happen regarding Khalistan, he said that all the boys in his class would all get sent to prison. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. But let me just show you this clip, and let's hope we don't get demonetized or we don't get cut out. I'll try to show it in a way that, doesn't hurt too much. But this is very emblematic of all fighting in the time of Kali Yuga. Sorry. Hold on a second. Where am I? Oh. No, here we go. This is a movie called Princess Mononoke. One of my favorite movies, one of the best movies ever made. And then we'll do some comments after this, because you guys have been throwing down some great comments. But this is a movie called Princess Mononoke, and I think it's very emblematic of what's happening in the community right now. Really with all fighting. So this is the main guy. So this is the two women that are fighting in the movie. Okay, hold on. Let me get a better shot. Okay, so you see on the left, there's a samurai woman, okay? She basically saves women from poverty and abusive situations. She saves them and gives them jobs in her factory. And she's a real community leader. You know what I'm saying? She helps the women out of prostitution, out of like, you know, like literally like just abusive situation, whatever. She helps them get out and she gives them jobs in her factory. And she's got this factory that makes weapons, that does other kind of stuff, but she's got a factory, but the factory is on the side of a cliff where there's a giant forest, and the factory is polluting and destroying the forest. She's an industrialist. She's a feminist industrialist. That's the woman on the left. On the right, you see the girl who's like in the fur. This girl right here, she is an abandoned orphan, so already you got to be on her side, or you're a monster. She's an abandoned orphan, and she's been raised by wolves. And the other woman's factory is impinging on the wolves. It's bothering the wolves. She actually shot a wolf. Like they've been beefing with each other, the wolves, and they're these giant wolves. They've been beefing, the giant wolves and the industrialist woman. So she actually killed one of them. And so this young lady is pissed because she's raised by those wolves. So you got a situation here. I mean, you got a feminist against an environmentalist. Who are you going to pick? Who do you pick? And this is the same with all fights in the world. If you're seeing them correctly, they're like this. Because the point of contention is too complex to say this person's evil and this person's good. You can't do that. It's actually inappropriate to do such a thing. And this is a fantastic... I'll just play the one line. Let me just check the live stream and make sure we're not... Okay, they haven't detected anything yet. This is very important for the community. Let's just get one line of dialogue here, and I'll stop it.
Stay your hand. The girl's life is now mine.
I'm sure she'll make a lovely wife for you.
This guy has been sent by another community, and he's here, and he knows that they're both righteous. Like, he actually meets both of them, and he's like, please do not fight. You are both righteous. This is a great movie, but let's continue.
There's a demon inside of you.
This is what we're doing. This is our congregation right now. Literally, when I read we're going to read the comments in a second. This is what we're doing, people, for the culture, for the community.
It's inside both of you.
I'm going to pause it there for the line because the line is so good. You guys got to hear the line. Excellent connection. We're just going to get this line and I'm going to stop it, okay? We're playing with fire here, folks. We're playing with fire. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're playing with fire here with YouTube and the copyright strikes and what's going on. But this is so important for the community to see this. Just watch this.
Look, everyone! This is what hatred looks like. This is what it does when it catches hold of you. It's eating me alive, and very soon now it will kill me.
Isn't that crazy? So this, by the way, this demon that's attacked him, and let's just stop it. Let's stop it and we'll come back. Let's stop it and I'll pull up the old comments there. But yeah. That disease that he has, the reason he has this disease is because of some kind of overhunting in this giant forest. It's created these like demons. So like the overhunting and the heartache that some animals are going through, they're creating like sometimes they're dying, and then the chemicals from our factory are mixing in. So sometimes they're dying and they're becoming these like diseases, which is disease. I mean, this movie is a perfect metaphor for what we are doing through industrialization to the planet. I mean, it's so well written. It's like on one hand she's helping all these people out of poverty, on the other hand she's destroying the environment. Sound familiar? Miyazaki, man, ahead of his time. Let's get to the comments, goddammit. Let's get to the goddamn comments before I start crying. It's beautiful. Here we go. Here we go. Play at speed up. They don't detect it as easily in the future. Yes, thank you for the tip. Appreciate that. We will do that. Have you previously commented on the Russell Brand situation? I have not yet. But we got to talk about it. Urain, tell me something about the Russell Brand situation. Did he bang a 16-year-old? Because if he did, I don't know. As much as I want to be on his side, I did hear even like people saying, but I don't know if he did though. I don't know if he did or if it's just fake accusations, because there are just bullshit accusations. Like Russell Brand is speaking truth to power. He's like going after these major companies, whatever. Did he bang a 16-year-old? If he did, then does she have the right to be like, this happened to me, so I don't want anyone watching? But it is still weird that YouTube selectively picks him. I heard someone from the Gray Zone on The Hill the other day, and they were saying how like George W. Bush, like George W. Bush, Obama, this sounds so radical, but like they're seen as war criminals from the rest of the world. Like anyone who actually studies this stuff and really looks at it, looks at those guys, their characters in the American drama in Kali Yuga, and they are two characters that they are looked at as like these guys have to go to court for war crimes. Like what they did was illegal in Iraq, in Syria. They destroyed these countries. Thousands of people died. Then he also mentioned Bill Clinton, whom Bill Clinton not only did that, I think in Syria or something like that, but then he also has like 20 rape allegations, and his channel is just on YouTube. So it is stupid that happened. But yeah, like if he had sex with a 16-year-old, that's wrong. But yeah, I do think like it's bullshit to go after Russell Brand right now. It's like, why go after just one guy? Like dude, you know how many child molesters are on YouTube? And they just get a warning. It's like, warning, don't be a child molester on YouTube. Like there's like literally people abusing their own children on YouTube. And YouTube sends them like, okay, warning, don't, watch the abuse on your own child. Just watch it. And like they still let the channel go. Like it's like they need like 3 or 4 warnings, and they're like, okay, we got to delete your channel because everyone found out. That's what YouTube usually does. They have a bunch of channels where parents literally abuse their kids, and they make a video out of it, and they think it's funny. They'll tell their kid like, if you clean your room, I'll give you an ice cream. And then the kid cleans his room, and the parent goes, nope, not giving you the ice cream, and life's not fair, you little shit. And then the kid just just starts bawling, crying, and then they'll lock him in a room, just harassing the kid. It's too much. It's too much. And these motherfuckers abusing their own children. Do you know what a psychopath you have to be to abuse your own child? They're so cute. They need your love. And you're abusing them, and you're like finding ways to really hurt their feelings and make them freak out and cry, whatever. YouTube sends them a warning. Hey, don't do this. There's even people that literally had like, I picked up this girl in the street, and then it even has the girl kind of saying no, and the guy's like, fuck you, like he's like being abusive. And even those things, they need like multiple warnings. So Russell Brand, I don't see it. I think basically because he's speaking up for peace. Because he's speaking out for peace, just like us, people. That's the price for speaking out for peace, because the warmongers, they want to fight no matter what. Love Princess Mononoke, and Howl's Moving Castle is good too. Yes, Howl's Moving Castle is incredible too, and I just haven't found a scene like that in Howl's Moving Castle, because that scene where he says, don't you see what we're doing? It's tearing the community apart. That's what we need, people. We need people saying, listen, man, I'm not on your side. I'm not on your side. We want peace. We want the side of not fighting. And not only not fighting, we should be moving towards more loving relations, actively towards more loving relations, not traumatizing each other. And really, the downward spiral is the escalation of violence. The escalation of violence is the downward spiral into fear and negativity. Princess Mononoke is one of my fave Ghibli films. What a great movie. Verbal Spaghetti. I personally don't believe Trudeau should be elected again or even run, but Polyev needs to get the top secret security clearance that was offered to him so he can view the gathered intelligence. Verbal Spaghetti Gaming. Okay, I know a little bit about this situation with Pierre Polyev and Trudeau. The reason why Pierre Polyev doesn't want to look at the intelligence is because Trudeau has told him, I will only show you the intelligence if you sign a legal document saying that you'll never talk about it. So that's why Pierre Polyev is like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? The whole point of me looking at it is so I can tell people what the hell's in it. So this is the problem, Verbal Spaghetti Gaming. And we can look that up for a future episode, but definitely, oh my God, it's hard to pick what the topics are going to be, Like But that is an interesting topic because basically, it's a good point to bring up because when it comes to Chinese interference, China is doing way worse in Canada than if India killed a guy, like that's the worst, obviously. But if he didn't, if this was just some gang violence, and by the way, I talked to a lot of Punjabis in the community. You know what I mean? I'm in Brampton. I know a lot of Punjabis in the community. And when I talk to them about it, they kind of tell me like, listen, man, he could have just got shot. That's what I'm getting on the street is like, that guy could have just gone shot. Like he is the head of an organization that is, down for violence. There's turf wars, there's stuff like that. Like that could have just been an internal hit. We don't know, but maybe it was the Indian government. I don't know. But the point is that low vibration, high vibration. The point is that with so little, like with what did he say? He said, I have credible allegations of a potential link. That's 3 bullshit words. That's 3 gray area bullshit words. This guy's triple gray areaing the situation. Trudeau. Because he wants people, a lot of people are saying that the Khalistan movement has strong ties to the Liberal Party in Canada. And they kind of have their ear, and especially with a minority government, Jagmeet Singh has control over him. And Jagmeet Singh could say, I don't support you anymore, collapses his government. I think, is that how it works? I think that's how it works. So this is the clap back from India. But verbal spaghetti game. Yeah, that's what I've heard, is that Pierre Poilievre wants the information. Trudeau said, I'll give you the information. Just look at it. And it's so crazy how they just go back and forth with it, where Poilievre says, you said that I can't talk about it if I see it. And then Trudeau hits him back with like, well, see it, and then you'll know that nothing's wrong. And the guy's like, okay, no, but let me see it without making me sign a document saying that I won't talk about it. And then this guy's like, well, once you see it, you'll know that there's nothing to talk about, so it won't matter anyway, so just sign the document. It's crazy, man. Trudeau, I just don't trust him. Amish, loving the new energy. I've subscribed back to the drip. Thanks, baby. Love you. Bart, Zach, I don't... So are you pro-Trudeau or against? Oh, totally anti-Trudeau. He's useless. He's always been... Listen, regardless of this, Trudeau is a loser. Sorry. Anyone who knows anything about politics knows that he has no resume. Just like George W. Bush, he's just prime minister because his dad was prime minister. His resume is, like, honestly pathetic. Like, you can't, with Justin Trudeau's resume, you can't get a job in any real corporation with that resume. And he's the prime minister. He's never had a job for more than 2 years, which is fine for me. I'm not sitting here saying that I can hold down a job or that I'm a responsible guy. I actually kind of relate to him. I am a prince. He is also a prince. I can see a prince. So he is a prince like me. And yeah, he's never had a job. Like he did, okay, what did he do? He tried to be an actor, which is fine. Not an easy thing to get into. I'm acting on a kids' TV show, have a Canadian Screen Award, God is great. And a Writers Guild Award, God is great. But it's a tough business. It's not easy to make it. Like, I'm not knocking him for that. But I will say this. He tried for TV, tried that for a bit. Then he got to a point where it's like he's just not making any money. So it's like, okay, he has to go into being a teacher. Teaching, sorry, but it is something that people do. I know a lot of people who did it. There's some people who want to be teachers. They love teaching. They want to be teachers. I know a lot of people who did like, an undergrad that was kind of like they kind of went to university to party. They didn't really know what they wanted to do. So they just kind of got an undergrad in some like social science, like whatever. No offense to the social sciencers. But they got a thing in poli-sci. They couldn't get a job with it. And then they go, okay, I'll just be a teacher. If I do a 2-month class or in Buffalo once a week, I could be a teacher. Certified. Done. And I just know a lot of people who did that. Sorry. I know there's teachers who love the community. They love kids. But I just know a lot in Canada who just like, they're just people who couldn't get a job anywhere else. So they said, okay, I'll just be a teacher. It's fine. Feels like Trudeau did that. I don't think he lasted 2 years even in that job. So I think he did that for like a year and a half. And then he got let go. First of all, to become the teacher, he didn't officially apply and he didn't even do the teacher's college. They just let him in because he's the prime minister's son. Okay, fine. So he becomes a teacher. A year and a half later, he had to quit over some mysterious circumstances. I'm not saying that he banged a student or he banged the student's mom, but that's what the conservatives are trying to say. I don't know if that's what happened. Doesn't seem like there's proof for that, but something happened and he had to like just leave, and he had to leave with like a legal team to get him out of that school. So that's one job, the teacher. Then he was an MP for 2 years and he became prime minister. 2 years MP? Come on. He has no experience. So yeah, that's what I think of him. I think regardless of this, maybe he's right on this. I don't know. Maybe India did it. Listen, they're fascists. They'll do it. They'll go kill someone in another country. They could. Honestly, India, I don't see it. I feel like they're too scared to go out of the country. But within India, they would have killed him. Outside of India, I don't see it. Doesn't really make sense to me. And we'll show some more clips about it. But I don't really see them doing it. Oops. There we go. Oh yeah, let's go. So are you against? So that answers that question. Babaji, great to be back. Thanks, Empress Lane. Appreciate you. At this point, we can only hope that the evidence is credible, which I would bet it is. CSIS doesn't normally BS about this kind of stuff, and the Indian government / media reaction exposes their involvement. Bartzak. Spicy comment. Spicy comment.
Wow, we're just a little buttercup, aren't we?
Spicy comment of the day. You got it, buddy.
Wow, we're just a little buttercup, aren't we?
That's right. Let's play Prophet 7. This is a track called Prophet 7 by Noir A. Blanc V, and you're listening to the Drip, Rip and Dip on YouTube. Let's talk to the community, people. What are people saying in the culture? Bartzak, I take your point. It's very interesting what you're saying. Yeah, maybe. You're right. Trudeau is an idiot. Bartzak, maybe we can agree on this. Trudeau's dumb, but CSIS... But we don't know at this point. There could be a guy at CSIS who's like, what the fuck? We don't have any evidence yet. Like the people at CSIS could be like scrambling right now. Like, I don't think this guy's connected to India. Because you know how many people in India just all have the same name? It's like 1 billion people with 20 names. I couldn't get AmishPatel.com. AmishPatel.com taken. Amish Patel on Facebook, 200 of them. 2,000 of them probably. It's probably 2,000 in Brampton. And then there's another 2,000 in BC. Then another 2,000 in India. For, I don't know, 100,000 in India, Amish Patels. It's probably like 1 million of them. The sheer numbers we don't know. So there's probably a guy named, Arjun Mahavir in the, and there's one guy who's linked to India. There's probably one Arjun Mahavir that's linked to India, and there's probably one Arjun Mahavir that's like a West Indian guy, knows nothing about this. And that guy might have just talked to someone who shot the guy. And these CSIS agents are like, oh, it's Arjun Mahavir. It's connected to the Indian government. You never know. I'm just saying. But I don't know. We don't know. Ritik Kumar, I just came in. Do you believe with the allegations made on India? I'm on India's side on this. Ritik Kumar, I know you're on India's side. I know you are avid Hindu nationalist. I think we've heard from you before, and I appreciate you coming in, making your comments. I do appreciate it. But yeah, like I'm on the side of the people, Ritik. I'm on the side of the Sikhs, whether they believe in Khalistan or not. Listen, I honestly think if you got the votes, you get Khalistan. That's just my official stance on it, and there's just no other way I can look at that. If you got the votes, you got the votes. And what a lot of people would say, even in the meditation communities, they would say that basically by India, what's happening is like one side wants to leave, right? And then India is being like that. They always do the jealous boyfriend analogy, but it is like a jealous boyfriend. It's like, no, you have to love me forever. Why don't you love me? And doing a why don't you love me and you have to love me forever, it's a low vibration. It's a low vibration. Don't do it in your personal lives either. In your personal life, if you're dating someone, they want to break up, say, oh, okay. That's all you can do. You can say, ooh, took me by surprise. I was hoping we'd do this and this, but if you gotta go, you gotta go. And that's it. That's all you can do in a breakup. And then 90% chance they're gonna come back because you played it so cool. You played it very chill and cool, like that funky, right? Like Quangerine Dream. This is Quangerine Cream by Noir A. Blanc V on the drip. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like India has done things against the community. that they deserve to be mad about. And it's just a back and forth escalating. Now we're quickly escalating it more, but it's just a back and forth traumatization over the years. So yeah, no, I do think, and you know what? Even Sashi Tharoor, prominent lefty, big left-wing guy. This guy's a big anti-colonial guy, big lefty kind of guy, and he even says, let's pull up another window for him. Let's see it.
I'm very disappointed at the direction of our relationship with Canada. I must say that I was very surprised and disappointed by the Prime Minister of Canada making a public allegation of this nature. If there was any evidence, they should have prosecuted the killers in a court of law. But this kind of public thing really does not reflect well on our relationship. And thereafter, we have seen tit for tat. We have seen the diplomats being expelled by one country, then expelled by the other. Then we have seen advisory by one country, advisory by the other. It is not a healthy situation.
And now India has banned visas, banned all visas in Canada.
And I think that it's a deterioration that needs to be halted in the interests not only of the individuals who are involved in Canada, the Indian diaspora there, but also both countries, and our political interests dictate that we should have healthy relations with all countries in the world. So this should not be allowed to get out of control any further. Thank you.
What a great guy, Sashi Tharoor. Great guy. Let's go live to the Prime Minister, though. How about that? We got
India to engage with us to move forward on getting to the truth of this matter.
Hello, Mr. Trudeau. Mackenzie Gray with Global News. So far, none of the US, UK, Australia, or New Zealand have echoed the allegations about India. We know you gave a heads up to some of those world leaders. Did you ask them to publicly condemn New Delhi?
Yes.
As a country of the rule of law, we have an obligation to ensure that those processes unfold in a rigorous and independent manner, and that is what we are ensuring. At the same time, we are ensuring that Canadians stay protected and that we stand up for the international rules-based order. That is something that we are doing, and it's something we are doing alongside our allies.
But so far at this point in time, you seem to be alone in echoing these allegations. Are you concerned that Canadian allies have not gone nearly as far as you in this situation?
We're standing up for the rules-based order. We're standing up for the rule of law. We're highlighting how unacceptable it would be for any country to be involved in the killing of a citizen on their own home soil. And that's something we will continue to stand for.
Prime Minister, since you made your statement in the House of Commons the other day, some of the reactions, some of the conversation's been about the quality of the evidence, how much Canada has. You said it was credible. Can I ask you to characterize it just a little bit further about how extensive it is, how solid it is, and whether you might ever share some of that with the public? So how extensive is this evidence?
I think it's extremely important that as a country with a strong and independent justice system, we allow those justice processes to unfold themselves with
Stalling.
the utmost integrity. But I can assure you, the decision to share these allegations
So fake, but I can assure you.
on the floor of the House of Commons Monday morning was not done lightly. It was done with, or Monday afternoon, was done with the utmost seriousness. Nous avons un système de justice.
Oh, that's French. That's great. That's perfect. When they do French, we can talk. Okay, yeah. He's stalling, man. The way he's stalling, I don't like it. If I'm doing a body language, just his voice in general, everything sounds like a lie. Because who talks? What man talks like this? And then you're going to do this? What is he? What was it? I can assure you that these accusations are very serious. It's too fake. I don't get it. Nobody talks like this.
As Canadians, and indeed as a world.
Did Prime Minister Modi confirm or deny these allegations when you talked to him about them?
As I said, I had a direct and frank conversation with.
This looks spicy. They're giving him the heat on this. I like these reporters because the guy straight up said, "What's your evidence?" That's good.
Bonjour tout le monde. Aujourd'hui,
Little Frenchy French.
Unis.
That's an issue advocacy region de travail.
Contre la pauvreté.
Wow.
Canada continues to reaffirm the importance of the rule of law and the rules.
His mic is peaking.
Based international order. We need these rules to foster the stability that is essential to global prosperity and economic growth. Yesterday at the UN Security Council,
It just sounds, you know what it sounds like? It does sound like a grade 8 book report. Everything he says and everything he does, it sounds like someone doing a grade 8 book report. It's this kind of fake, stiff, the way of talking, and even just using overly big words that don't really, that you just don't need. It's like, it just comes across as fake. What do you guys think?
I called on Russia to withdraw its troops from Ukraine immediately, completely, and unconditionally. On top of the horrors caused by Putin in Ukraine, Russia's war is causing global inflation, which hurts all of us. Russia.
You're causing inflation. This piece of shit. His stupid policies. This is why, I used to think that maybe it's not Trudeau. Even Bandit was saying he doesn't think it's Trudeau. But I'll tell you why. I talked to another guy, and he's a big Trudeau supporter. And this is what he told me. He said that basically Canada, before when the Conservatives were in charge, we brought in 350,000 immigrants. Trudeau just wants to keep the economy growing and take credit for it. So he's actually let in 2.6 million immigrants in the past 3 years. It's quadruple. We don't have the infrastructure for it. We don't have the housing market for it. So we're just playing catch up, and that I think has definitely led to inflation in the housing market.
Is weaponizing energy and food, leading millions to face shortages. Le Canada va continuer de soutenir l'Ukraine aussi longtemps
It's just so fake.
qu'il le faudra. Et on va toujours te tenir debout pour
How annoying that you have to do everything in
défendre
English
la
and then in French.
et l'ordre international fondé sur les règles. Over the past few years, many challenges, like Russia's war in Ukraine, the pandemic, and global inflation, have shown us how interconnected we all are. It's increasingly clear that economic policy, which brings countries together on cutting emissions, protect families and consumers, and help stabilize grocery prices for Canadians.
What the hell is he talking about all this for? Nobody gives a shit, dude. Talk about the Khalistan thing. Even the thing says Trudeau speaks after India halts visa services in Canada live. Okay, so get to the visas.
And it will remove the federal GST on the construction of new apartment buildings. A été impliqué, involved in the killing of a Canadian là pour défendre la sécurité des Canadiens et les principes de règles de droit. As I said on Monday, there are credible reasons to believe that agents of the government of India were involved in the killing of a Canadian on Canadian soil. That is something of the utmost and foundational importance in a country of rule of law, in a world where international rules-based order matters. We have rigorous and independent justice and robust processes that will, of course, and we call upon the government of India to engage with us to move forward on getting to the truth of this matter.
Well, Mr. Chair, Mackenzie Gray with Global News. So far, none of the U.S., UK, Australia, or New Zealand have echoed the allegations about India. We know you gave some heads up to some of those world leaders. Did you ask them to publicly condemn New Delhi?
Spicy. Good question. And this pause says everything.
As a country of the rule of law, we have an obligation to ensure that Those processes unfold in a rigorous and independent manner.
Oh my God. Did you tell the other countries, yes or no? He's such a bullshitter. What's these long-winded, this is what I mean, where it's like a kid, it's like a grade 10 book report where the kid's trying to stretch one paragraph into a whole page. That's what everything he says sounds like. It's like, this is not, just answer the goddamn question, dude. He cited 4 countries. You can do them one at a time. As I have said before, international rule of law is something that is very serious. And the rules-based order is something that we have to follow. It's like, dude, just answer it.
Sure. At the same time, we are ensuring that Canadians stay protected and that we stand up for the international rules-based order. That is something that we are doing, and it's something we are doing alongside our allies.
But so far at this point
Meaningless.
in time, you seem to be alone in echoing these allegations. Are you concerned that
That's very good reporter, dude. It really is like boxing. Like, this guy threw him a direct hit, and he dodged it, and then the guy came back with another, and he just came back with it again. That's all you do. It's so crazy.
Canadian allies have not gone nearly as far as you in this situation?
We're standing up for the rules-based order. We're standing up for the rule of law.
Fake.
We're highlighting how unacceptable it would be for any country to be involved.
Did you ask them, did you guys forget what the question was? This is what he's trying to do, is make you forget what the question was. The question was, did you reach out to these 4 countries? And did they say no to you? That's the question. What gibberish.
In the killing of a citizen on their own home soil. And that's something we will continue to stand for.
That's something that we will continue to stand for. What do you say to that? It's like, basically he's just saying gibberish and then saying, we are Canada, we are strong and free, and I will stand for it. It's something that we will stand for.
Prime Minister, since you made your statement in the House of...
That's it. 2 questions. Did you ask them to support you? Yes, no. What nonsense. And the reporter has to be like, sir, you didn't answer my question. These 4 countries, US, UK, Australia, France, maybe? Did you try calling them? And they shunned you. They basically said, no, we're not getting into this. Did you do it or not? And look at the nonsense verbal salad that he throws out. Garbage.
The other day, some of the reactions, some of the conversation's been about the quality of the evidence, how much Canada has. You said it was credible. Can I ask you to characterize it just a little bit further about how extensive it is, how solid it is, and whether you might ever share some of that with the public? So how extensive is this evidence?
They're so polite. It's like, why? Instead of saying, why aren't you sharing it with the public? Why aren't you showing the proof that this actually happened? 4 other countries have said, we're not going to stand with you on this. And you still don't want to put out proof. You want to say these vague, ridiculous terms. Credible? What is it? Credible allegations of potential foreign interference. Bullshit.
I think it's extremely important that as a country with a strong and independent justice system, we allow those justice processes to unfold themselves with the utmost integrity. But I can assure you, the decision to share these allegations on the floor of the House of Commons Monday morning was not done lightly. It was done with, or Monday afternoon, was done with the utmost seriousness. Nous avons a situation with the Prime Minister in which I shared my concerns in no uncertain terms.
Hi, Prime Minister Tom Perry, CBC. Can I ask you, you've been asked about this already, but India has suspended visa services here in Canada. Are we going to reciprocate? Are you going to take some kind of action, tit for tat action in this?
We call upon the government of India to take seriously this matter and to work with us to shed full transparency and ensure accountability and justice in this matter. We are a country of the rule of law. We are going to continue to do the work necessary to keep Canadians safe and to uphold our values and the international rules-based order. That's our focus right now.
And when the two Michaels were taken into detention by China, you were quite successful. Your government was quite successful in rallying international support for Canada. It seems that countries are less eager to take as firm a stand on India. Why do you think that is?
In the situation of the two Michaels, Canada grounded itself in the rule of law, in our values, in upholding our international treaties and obligations, and demonstrated that as a country of the rule of law, we will remain anchored in it. That's what we did as a country, and that's what we do on the international stage, whether we're standing up for Ukraine or emphasizing the importance of the international rules-based order in other contexts. The rule of law is there to protect Canadians, it's there to protect all citizens around the world, and Canada will always be crystal clear on our defense of that for the protection and safety of everyone.
It's so fake. I can't watch it. It's just, what is he? Just platitudes. That's all you get out of this guy. Just meaningless platitudes. Did you ask those 4 countries to support you? This is very serious allegation. We will continue to work with our allies, with our friends, and the people we've accused to see this situation come to a fruition that follows the rules-based international order. And we, as Canada, will stand up and not hold back. Thank you. It's like, doesn't mean anything. Ritik Kumar, by the way, Canada didn't extradite Noor Chaudhry, convicted war criminal for his roles in massacring in Dhaka 1975 on August 15th and November 3rd 1975 killing of 4 Bangladesh's most prominent politicians. Yeah, that is true. There is a history of all the Indian news stations are saying that India is basically Canada has this influence of Khalistan in Canada. Like, they have a political influence over a government, and they're just kind of pulling for him. That seems to be the two big narratives. On the one hand, it's basically the two things that we've come down to, and it's sad because they're two terrible situations. But I think it's best to blame it all on Trudeau and not us be divided and conquered again by the white man. By the white man. They're the ones who started this whole thing, actually. If you think about how during the partition of India, the way that Punjab was separated, it is the Britisher that tore the rift between us. Once we were maybe friends with each other, you know what I mean? But they tore this rift between us. You got to see the partition map. Dude, they put so much in Pakistan. I mean, come on, man. Look at this. What? Hold on. This is the partition map. And if you look at it, Punjab, it's like so much of it is left in the Pakistan side. You know? So there's real grievances here. I mean, but this is, I'd say, where it all started. We should be aiming our anger and hatred towards not hatred, but we should be focused here, not divided amongst each other, but look at the real enemy here. This trauma goes back to the partition. And it's a trauma that's been going back and forth between Sikhs and the ruling Hindu party in India. Just the ruling class, really. Not the rest of us. The ruling class, they do poke at them, and these guys also poke back, and this is a big poke too. The fact that they were left half split in two. They could be a powerful state. I mean, that's true. They have a good point here. Hold on. But let's not forget who the real enemy is. And it is the colonizer. It is the colonizer. This is what they did. And now they have this so now over the years, though, there is a chance. I mean, like I said, it's complicated. I mean, there is a chance that they just had this control. I mean, they just have this control over Canadian politics. I can see it. A lot of people, that is the side that people aren't looking at really, is like, could they possibly have control over it? So there's that. There's one or two other clips I wanted to show you guys, actually. This is terrifying.
Your destination is India. Leave Canada, go to India.
Sorry. Just the dumbest picture of Trudeau. This picture really does represent how he comes across as a human being. Just such a goof. Will Trudeau take action against Pundit's Kill India referendum?
Indo-Canadian Hindus, you have repudiated your allegiance to Canada and Canadian Constitution. Your destination is India. Leave Canada, go to India. Pro-Khalistan Sikhs have always been loyal to Canada. They have always sided with Canada and they have upheld the laws and the Constitution. On October 29th, Shaheed Nijar Kill India referendum is happening in Vancouver. I urge all Canadian Sikhs to be in Vancouver on October 29th to vote on His Indian High Commissioner Verma, responsible for the assassination of Nijar. You have to come.
Damn. So yeah, it seems like a complicated political tiff between between Hindus and Sikhs in India, and now Justin Trudeau's jumping in on it for some personal political gain. Or maybe he's just, listen, he's got a minority government, and Jagmeet Singh can get in his ear and say, listen, you got to do it. You have to. It's how, my community is talking and they want it. So maybe that's what happened. That's the two competing theories, though. One theory is just what he said, which, And then the other Indian theory is he's in the pockets of the Khalistan movement. I feel like it's a gray area. It's intergenerational trauma going back generations. And the best way that we should talk about it is in terms of loving kindness, in terms of healing, in terms of peace, not war, in terms of, we got to bring the community together. So thanks for doing that. Thanks for coming in, everyone. I feel like we did that today. We got people here from, oh my God, Rewind Cat, 279 for the legal battle against YouTube and Ghibli. Yes. Thank you, Rewind Cat. What a powerful message we played from Rewind Ghibli. And let's play that scene again a little bit because it is powerful and it does remind us of, really the most important message that we have to remember at all times when people start fighting. Where is it? Let's get it. Let's bring it back, people. I know, I just can't stop risking it. I got to risk it. What a great scene. It's such a great scene, and it's such a heartbreaking scene, and I could cry. I'm not gonna lie. It could happen, but I don't think so. I think I held it. There we go. Incredible movie. Highly recommended. Check it out, everyone. Since we got that 279 from Rewind Cat, let's get the most out of it. Let me look at the live stream thingy though. It says excellent connection, 17 concurrent viewers. We're fine. Let's play a little bit. This is what we should all be playing the role of the boy in this. He's the hero of this, and he should be the hero of our lives and our hearts. Whenever we see two people fighting, two groups fighting, we should treat it like this. And again, just to recap, this woman on the right, she's not fighting with him. She's fighting with this other girl who's she's a wild, hot, young little firecracker too. She's hot, and there's definitely some kind of love tension between her and the guy. And this is her. Look at her. She's wild. She's a spicy little firecracker. And she was raised by the wolves. And she's not going to take her community getting killed. And one of her wolf mothers got killed by this other woman. She killed someone from her clan, which is a clan of wolves. And now they're in a bitter blood feud, and they got to fight till the end. Now, the reason why we have to be like this young man in the middle is that we are just like him. We see two groups of people fighting. We should do what he's doing and say, please, and do what he's about to do next. Let's take a look at it.
The girl's life is now mine.
I'm sure she'll make a lovely wife for you.
There's a demon inside of you. It's inside both of you.
That's the disease he got from the forest because there was too much fighting and too much deforestation and pollution and stuff, and it created these demons. And I also just wanted to pause there just so that we don't get a strike. How are we doing? The channel's looking good. Let's keep it going.
Look, everyone! This is what hatred looks like. This is what it does when it catches hold of you. It's eating me alive, and very soon now it will kill me. Fear and anger only make it grow faster.
Don't you see? This is the message we have to get to the community. In all groups that are fighting, anytime people are fighting, it's really, this is the story of all fights. It's never good and evil. It's always complex like this. It's a feminist versus environmentalist. Who are you going to pick? Feminist versus environmentalist. Hindus versus Sikh. Both beloved groups. Hindu, and it's not even Sikh. It's like the Khalistan movement is within Sikhism. And it's not all Hindus. It's mostly upper class Hindus that do all this. They're the ones who go and mess with them when they do it. So it's like, and that's the problem with all fighting, is that it is a small group of people who are extreme on both sides. Anytime people are fighting, it's never one group against another group. It's always let's be honest, the people with low vibration in one group and the people in low vibration in another group, they're the most traumatized. That's what brought them to a lower vibration. They're the most traumatized, so they're always saying, we gotta fight, and they start the fights, and then everyone else has to go. So we, as the rest of the community, have to resist that and say, please, we are choosing love over fear. We are choosing togetherness over hatred and anger and bitterness. So thanks for coming, everyone. What a beautiful message. God damn it, what a beautiful, beautiful message. I gotta go, but I have a show tonight in London, Ontario. Come out to that. It's gonna be a great show. This is the first time this is probably the first time someone's asked me to headline, and probably the second time I've headlined. Because Bougie B. Bouger, shout out to her, she asked me to headline like a couple weeks ago. But this guy told me, like, when we met, we did a couple of sets together, whatever, and he's like, bro, just come headline. I'll set you up in London, Ontario, we'll party, we'll do this and that, whatever. Can't party, unfortunately. Got to shoot the kids' TV show tomorrow. Got a script right here. Babaji's acting on TV. Got the script right here. Can't even see it. Never mind. But yeah, so shout out to Poppy G TV on YouTube. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Come to a live show. And most importantly, just make sure that you have love in your hearts for each other. Keep a high vibration. That's it for today. Thank you. Oh, I'm still here. It's like you say bye to someone and then you walk in the same direction. All right, see you guys later. Thanks for coming. Peace. Thanks for coming, everyone. I do appreciate it. Wow, there's so many comments that we didn't get to. Let's do some comments, actually. Babaji doesn't know when to leave. Babaji, what are you doing, Babaji? Let's get some comments in here. What do we got here? Bye, Babaji, bye. We got Justin Consciousness says, blessings, 3 hearts, thank you. Have a fantastic day, everyone, thank you. Love alone. Justin Consciousness says, love alone. Looking good with that ranch. Nachama Gluck says, with PTSD, it's actually really helpful to know your triggers so you can either avoid them or do exposure therapy to them. Expose yourself to a little at a time for immunity. But in this case, it sounds like not watching those things may bring more peace. I wish you must healing and speedy healing. Yes, very good. Fighting only lowers vibration. Yes, of course. Saeed is here. Carlos JS, Princess Mononoke LOL, or something right. Legend Mononoke. Princess Mononoke, yeah. Download Rumble. I just found out I have PTSD from childhood abuse. I'm 38 now, and if someone has been victimized on TV/news, I become enraged. Heart pounding, pouring sweat. I can't stop it. Download Rumble. Sorry to hear that. And this is a safe space for you. We welcome you. Thank you. Nacham, Ritik Kumar leaving some great comments. Urena Brew, thank you. He says, man, listening to this guy is infuriating. Guys like H, why we hate politicians, says nothing. It's so true, just so fake. Bart Zach, what's up? Rewind Cat with that dono. Thank you so much. Rewind Cat actually worked on our graphics too, so we really do appreciate that. But I gotta go, people. Thanks for coming out. Peace.